In this video, we're going to go over easy morning stretches that can help give less pain and more flexibility throughout the day. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, Dr. Rowe coming to you from SpineCare in St. Joseph, Michigan. In this video, we're going to go over 3 easy exercises that you can do first thing in the morning, right in bed. These exercises are designed to target as many muscles as possible in the shortest amount of time. That way we'll have less pain throughout the day and more flexibility. A note about these exercises, each one works just a little bit differently. They're going to target different muscle groups. My best advice, go through them all, use what works best for you, and if they all work, just alternate them throughout the week. So for this first one, we're going to start lying flat on our back in bed or on a floor. Our legs are going to be roughly hip width apart, knees bent, feet flat. What we want to do first is target a little bit more into the hips and the pelvic floor, and then we'll work our way up. So we're going to do a pelvic rocker. This one is one of the best exercises that you can do to loosen up the hips and the lower back and just have less pain overall. So let's start off by bracing our core muscles and activating the pelvic floor muscles. Imagine somebody poking you in your stomach, how you tense up. Try to mimic that during this exercise and then hold that, and then you're going to squeeze the glutes to activate those muscles. From there, you're going to take your hands, you're going to put them right on your hips. You're then going to rock your hips forward like this. It's kind of like taking your tailbone and curling it upward towards your stomach. So really focus on trying to curl that up like this and rock your hips. As you do this, you're going to feel a lot of muscles in the lower back, hips, and the core start to activate. Hold this comfortably for a second or two, and then what you're going to do is go in reverse. So rock your hips backward, taking your tailbone and kind of trying to just push it down into the bed or the floor. Again, hold this comfortably for a second or two, and then you're just going to repeat this nice and slowly for about 10 to 15 repetitions. And with each repetition, try to build into it just a little bit more. So next we're going to focus a little bit more into the glutes and the hips. We're going to go up just a little bit. This one is called the windshield wiper. We're going to be in the same position, but this time around just have everything nice and relaxed. We're not going to brace the core or squeeze the glutes. We're going to have our legs roughly hip width apart and try to keep your feet flat with this exercise. What you're going to do is take your knees and just pretty much take them down towards one side. With this, you want to focus on moving through your hips, so try to keep your lower back flat. Move through the hips only until you feel a really gentle stretch form on the outside. Once you feel that, you're going to hold this for a couple seconds, and then you're going to go towards the other side, just like a windshield wiper. Do this one nice and slowly for 10 to 15 repetitions. But with all of these movements too, if you feel like they're really helping with stiffness, tightness, or just giving you a lot of pain relief, you can throw in as many sets or repetitions as you like. So from here, we're going to build into the corkscrew, which is going to be a little bit more into the lower back. And this one is a personal favorite for many because it can end in a satisfying self-pop cracker release. So what we're going to do is straighten one leg like this. The other leg is going to go bent 90 degrees at the knee. You're going to take the hand on the other side, grab right on the outside of your knee. Your other hand is going to go straight up towards the ceiling. So the basic movement is hooking your knee and pulling it across your body. You want to feel an initial stretch in the hip, but what you're going to do is keep pulling until you feel a really good stretch form in the lower back. Once you feel that, you're going to hold this position and then take your hand on the other side and then rotate your upper body and head towards the other side. So it's going to create that corkscrew effect. And again, if your back is locked up, you might get that satisfying pop cracker release that you're looking for. But don't try to force it. I like to hold this one roughly for about 5 seconds. I relax and I do this about 5 to 10 times. And with each repetition, just try to build into it a little bit more. And then what you're going to do is switch to the other side and repeat just to keep everything in balance. So last, let's focus a little bit more on strengthening these muscles to get long-lasting relief. And one of the best exercises that you can do is the pelvic bridge. So let's get back into our original position of lying flat on our back, legs roughly hip width apart, knees bent, feet flat. Again, we're going to brace the core muscles with this one and then squeeze our glutes. From there, hands go right on the hips, and we're going to slowly raise our hips upward towards the ceiling until our body is in a nice straight line from the knees to the hips to the shoulders. If you're unable to get into this position because of weakness, pain, general discomfort, do the best you can. Hopefully over time you'll be able to gain strength, flexibility, or not have that pain to finally get in this position. But in this position, you're going to feel a ton of muscles start to fire. The core, back, glutes, and legs, everything that helps support the hips and the back. You want to hold this one comfortably for 5 seconds, relax, and then repeat this up to 10 times. But if it feels like you have a little bit more energy, you can always throw in more reps or more sets. If you would like to take this one to the next level, as you do it, just lift one leg up like this and put all of your body weight on one side. As you do this though, make sure that your hips are not tilting. So if you have a lot of weakness, you may find that your body kind of sags. Make sure that your hips and pelvis are nice and level. And whatever you do on one side, make sure to do on the other, just to keep everything in balance. But you can do this one for a 5-second hold, 10 reps on both sides. So here's another good exercise that's going to cover a lot of bases when it comes to lower back pain. So we're going to start off lying on our stomach this time around, again in bed or on a floor. I like to do what is called the child's pose first, and this one is going to offer a deep decompression style stretch throughout your whole back. That means it's going to take a lot of pressure off the spinal joints. So I'm going to start off on my knees just like this, and I like to kind of grip right into the edge of a bed. That way we can get a really deep stretch. What we're going to do is just take our chin towards our chest, and then we're going to rock our body all the way backwards. So what we're going to focus on is rocking our whole body backward like this, taking our butt towards our heels until we feel a really deep stretch throughout our whole back. I pretty much feel it from the base of my neck to my tailbone. Once you feel that, you want to intensify the stretch in between the shoulder blades by allowing your chest to sag forward towards the floor or the bed. It really helps open them up. In this position, you want to hold it for 30 seconds and do nice, slow, controlled breathing. But if it feels good, you can hold it for longer, 45 seconds, minute, whatever you would like. But when you need a breather, just rock back forward like this. And I would repeat this a couple more times, and with each repetition, try to build into it just a little bit more. If you would like to target some more muscles with the child's pose, instead of going straight with it, tilt your body towards one side. So I'm going a little bit towards my left with my upper body, and then I'm going to repeat. What you're going to notice is it opens up the other side just a little bit more. So give that a try towards the left. You can also try it towards the right. If any of those positions work out a little bit more, throw some more repetitions in. If you're dealing with a little bit more into the hips, you can do what is called the frog rocker, which is a modified child's pose. So what you do with this one is put your feet together and then slide your knees out as much as you can until you feel a really good stretch form on the inner part of your thighs towards the groin, but you should really feel it on the outside of your hips. From there, you're just going to rock back like this and then repeat. So again, if you have a lot of hip pain, give this one a try. It can really help out. So the next movement that I like to do is called the cobra. These are very popular child's poses. So what we're going to do, they're very popular yoga poses. So for this one, what we're going to do is lie on our stomach, and we're going to keep our hips flat during this exercise, and we're just going to prop up on our elbows just like this. My hands are together, my forearms are kind of in a V. In this position, you should feel a gentle stretch on the front. So you should feel it over the core and also working into the front of your thighs over the hip flexors. It's really important that we stretch the core and the hip flexors because those also will help support the back. We want the back and the front nice and loose. So in this position, we're going to hold it for 30 seconds and do nice, slow, controlled breathing. Again, if it feels good, you can hold it for longer. So if you would like to deepen this stretch and do a full cobra, what you can do is instead of going up on your forearms, put your hands off to your side, tuck your elbows in towards your side, My hands are roughly around the shoulders, and then you're just going to press up like this as much as you can. Again, keeping the hips flat. Don't lift up on them. This will really deepen that stretch. Again, you should feel it in the core and also on the front of your thighs. Hold this one for 30 seconds, relax, repeat a couple more times. So the last movement is called the scorpion, and again, this is a personal favorite for many because it's going to offer a very deep stretch in the back that can end in a satisfying self-pop cracker release. So for this, let's just support ourselves up on our forearms like this, again in a V shape. Just have everything nice and relaxed. This one's going to focus a little bit more into the lumbar spine, into the back. So we're going to bend our knees roughly at 90 degrees, put our legs together. What we want to do is focus on moving through the lower back and through our hips and just take our legs downward towards one side as far as you can. You're going to feel a deep stretch pretty much throughout the whole lower back into the middle back. It usually feels really, really good. I like to hold this one roughly for about 5 seconds, relax, and then repeat on the other side. And do this one nice and slowly for about 10 repetitions in both directions. But go through all of these movements. Again, if you feel like one is helping you out a little bit more, at that point, throw more repetitions in. So here's a really easy exercise that you can do right at the edge of a bed, but it's also good to do throughout the day in a chair anytime that you feel pain or tightness starting to build. Let's start off with very good upright posture. Have your back as straight as possible. What I'm going to do is target the upper back, and then we're going to work down into the lower back and the hips. The first movement, we're going to take one arm, bend our elbow at 90 degrees, and then slide our hand across our lower back as much as we can. When you do this, you should feel the muscles in the upper back, shoulder, and also into the side of the neck start to fire. Hold that comfortably, and now you're going to take your hand on your other side, hook the side of your head, and slowly pull your ear towards the other side's shoulder. This will really deepen that stretch. Build into it slowly. Once you feel a deep but comfortable stretch, you're then going to hold this one for 20 to 30 seconds, relax, and then repeat this a couple more times. If you would like to take this one to the next level, as you do this, slowly turn your chin upward towards the ceiling. So we're pulling our ear towards our shoulder and then taking our chin upward towards the ceiling. But do that for about 3 repetitions and then switch to the other side and repeat to keep everything in balance. So the next one we're going to do is going to focus more on the lower back, hips, especially with the glutes. The glutes are one of the biggest instigators of back pain, and one of the best ways to target them is with an exercise called the figure 4. So what I'm going to do is take one leg, take that side's ankle, and put it up over the other side's knee. So when you look down, it should look like a figure 4. I know a lot of people with glute and also piriformis tightness, this is going to be a challenge to get into this position. So to make it easier, what you do is you put your ankle over your other side's shin, grab your pant leg or in front of the shin, and then slide it up like this. But if you do have a lot of tightness with the glutes or just a lot of tightness around the hips in general, you'll probably notice that your knee is pointed up towards the ceiling instead of actually going down like this. What I would recommend doing is just allowing gravity to take it down as much as you can if that is a pretty intense stretch. And when you need a breather, what you can do is just kind of pull up like this to take that stretch off. But when you feel ready, what you want to focus on doing is driving this knee downward towards the floor, but don't use your hands, use your leg strength instead. So press down with that bent knee until you feel the glutes around the hips start to fire. Hold that comfortably, and now we're going to focus a little bit more into the lower back. So again, you want nice upright posture, and what you're going to do is tilt away from that bent knee while it's getting pressed down. This will help open up the back. You should feel it from the bottom of the ribs into the lower back into the hips. Again, it usually feels really, really good. I like to hold this one for about 5 seconds. I release it, and then I repeat this about 10 times. But if it feels good and it's really helping out, you can throw in as many repetitions as you like. Another movement that you can do is rotation, and this one will really help open up the back. So press the knee down like this, and then what you're going to do is turn through your back, rotate your shoulders towards the other side as far as you can. Hold that for 5 seconds, relax, and then throw in about 10 repetitions on both sides. You can rotate away and also towards the knee. Actually, my back just popped right there. It's a really good opener at that point. So go through all of those movements. If you feel like one is just helping you out a little bit more, I would recommend at that point throwing more repetitions in. If the exercises help, please support the channel by giving this video a like and maybe subscribing too. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching.